Welcome to another edition of the Brandon Clay Scouting Show. Appreciate you tuning in. Let's get right to it. First, we're going to start with the Los Angeles Lakers and Bronny James. So much talk about what's going on there. I think it's cool, right? Like LeBron in year 98, as he heads into year 22, his favorite slogan, the Wash King. And you're seeing all these videos circulate and surface on X and just different channels about him wanting to play with Bronny. And Bronny was like 11, 12, 13 years old. Even the Beats by Dre commercial they did the ad for, it was him versus Bronny and kind of young man versus father time and just all these things that LeBron has been able to accomplish to stay healthy and play in this league long enough to see his son get drafted 55th by the Los Angeles Lakers. There are 10 guys. You go through the last 10 picks at the 55 slot. And none of those guys have turned into NBA rotation guys. I loved Kyle Guy out of Virginia. He didn't even make it. And so I think that for as much as we're talking about it, which is awesome and great debate, that a lot of it, who knows, right? It's hard to be an NBA rotation guy. I'll get more and more into that as the summer turns to fall and obviously free agency, a lot of topics to cover the next couple of weeks. But I thought we'd start here. I remember Bronny as an All-American before the cardiac arrest issues last summer. And so to see him bounce back, obviously the Southern California numbers weren't great. Let's call it what it is. But neither are A.J. Johnson's, right, from the Australian League last year. And he went in the first round. So a million ways to do this thing the right way. I love Dalton Connect that they got out of Tennessee. I think they did a really good job of picking up people and pieces. The Lakers now active in free agency. There's a lot to like about what they've done and taking a chance on Bronny James in a slot where most guys don't pan into NBA rotation guys anyway. Doesn't seem far-fetched for me. And if that's what you're giving a guy who has provided you with the juice that fan base has lacked since Kobe left in the waning years, the Artest Meta World Peace years of the championships there, and Bron obviously helped deliver a title in 2020, so be it. Turning our attention to someone else that garners headlines every time they step on the floor, Caitlin Clark. First off, let me shout out Smoke Dixon or Carl Reed. Get the opportunity to go on Carl's show tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you tune in. Ever since really the 2023 tournament, right? But even back into 22 as a sophomore, and obviously with her production her freshman year, Caitlin Clark has been a name that has been buzzing in national circles. The public, whether right, wrong, indifferent, can't get enough of her. It's a really interesting commentary to kind of watch it all. And I think what you're starting to see that I like so much with her game is she's getting comfortable in the WNBA. She played a lot of basketball, and heck, she's playing a lot of basketball now. Yesterday, great game against Phoenix. 3 Olympians on the floor, plus Caitlin Clark. She still is 1 rebound short of a triple-double, 12 assists. I know the turnovers are high, but it's a high usage rate. She's 2-to-1 right now as a rookie point guard coming off of an extremely long college season. You take that. Taurasi, a lot of, again, the GOAT, right? Like one of them ones. Let's not put any disrespect on Dan Taurasi's name, but I know the point that Smoke Dixon and I were making last week on Carl Reed's show, Coach Reed Live, is there comes a point where you hand the mantle over, right? For Alex Morgan, that's right now in soccer. She has been the star of all stars. She's handing the mantle over. It might be time for Taurasi. You look at yesterday's performance, and Caitlin Clark is going to sell $2 million. If she's selling out every night in arenas, why don't we want her as a part of USA basketball this year for the Olympic team? I'll wait. So if you could come up with something that makes me say, hey, man, she's not fit, she's not ready, I'll listen. But right now, I don't think you can. So, I hated that she didn't make it. And this was a couple weeks ago, right? She's showing you game after game after game after game after game after. While we were also adamant about her being a part of that experience, I think it's something to keep in their pocket in case someone can't make the trip as we get closer to the days over there in Paris. Last but not least, if you follow me on social media, you've seen me talk a lot about 24/7 sports over the past 14 months. I want to shout out first Carl Reed, Trey Scott, Xavier Hamilton. A lot of people have put in a lot of time to help me be pretty good at that thing over there. And I think we got something special in the works. Just announced earlier today, the new director of scouting there. So excited about everything I think it's going to bring to the table, both from a Brandon Clay scouting perspective, a 24/7 sports perspective. I think the coverage angle that they've got me covering is unique. The database that we're building obviously is going to be first class, and that's great. But then being able to really compile the database and turn that into cool content for our VIP users. Hey, this is what we did. This is what we saw from this kid. Caitlin Clark's a great example. I remember watching Caitlin Clark have a barrage of points at a game at West Des Moines High School. It was snowing outside in Iowa back in the springtime of 2020 before she graduated, and being able to rehash that story, retell that story. And then obviously you'll see more here on this platform too, where we tie all these things together. Keep an eye up. Next up, Aaliyah Chavez to me in 2025. Best player in high school basketball that returns. She will be the #1 player in the 24/7 Sports 25 class. Already has a 100 grade. Multiple schools rumored to be, in the mix with her. Obviously, been on campus at LSU, Texas in the mix. Could be Tennessee, might be South Carolina. So that's something we'll definitely document and travel and journey with. All in all, I'm super excited. Big thanks again to the team at 24/7 Sports. Can't wait to get started. I will be in Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Chicago, and Rock Hill, South Carolina over the next 30 calendar days this month. So stay tuned. As always, you can follow me, Brandon Clay PSB, on all socials, and then we'll go from there. See you guys tomorrow. In the gym.